Namah Parvati Pataye Govindanam Sankirtanam.
Namaste everyone. Namaste. Very glad to see you again for Srimad Bhagavatam session. So we'll start with an invocation. Om Shuklam Bhardaram Vishnam Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vigno Vashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Sarva Lokanam Vishije Bhavaroginam Nadiye Sarva Vidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaham Tennaadudiya Periyava Potri Ennattavarkum Ireva Potri Sarvagya Sarvavyabi Periyava Charanam Maya Peraparakum Maha Periyavadi Potri Om Janmadhyasya Yatho Anvayadi Tarataschaarteshu Abhigyah Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Surayah Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatratra Sargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sadha Nirasta Guhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayathe girim yatkripatamaham vande paramanandha madhavam. So in the last session of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen the son of Manu, Sharyati, his daughter Sukanya's marriage with Shavana Munivar. Now, the other son of Manu was Nabagan, and his son is Nabagan's son is Nabhagan. He lived in a Gurukulam. For many years, he lived in a Gurukulam, and his brothers did not consider his share of the kingdom. So, what happened? But instead, divided the property among themselves. They divided the property of the kingdom among themselves, and they did not give any share to this Nabagan. So, and then later on, this story is different. Like later on, what happened is with the two mantrams and with the Shiva Anugraham, later on, he got his wealth. So, and from Nabagan was born Ambarisha. Now we are going to see the Charitram of Ambarisha, the most, powerful and most celebrated devotee. Ambarisho Mahabhagaha. Sukacharya, started Ambarishan's Charitram to Parikshit. He was, narrating this Ambarishan's Charitram to Parikshit, and he was saying, Ambarisho Mahabhagaha, the most fortunate personality. Like Ambarisha Chakravarti ruled the entire world, consisting of all the 7 islands. And he achieved, inexhaustible, unlimited opulence and prosperity on earth. The whole earth he ruled. Although such status, this kind of status is a rare condition, is a rare to obtain, that one cannot rule all over the world with all the material opulences, with all the prosperity he is doing that. But Ambarishan Maharaja, he did not care for it at all, because he always thinks that the whole material opulence, whatever he have, is like a dream. That is how he became a celebrated, very, very powerful devotee. One of the greatest devotee, like, Prahalladan. We have seen Prahalladan's Charitram. How the Prahalladan is a very, very, unique personality, unique devotee. No one can become Prahalladan, like Prahalladan. Like that, Ambarishan has, is fortunate to have all the opulences, but he never cared. He thought that it's all kind of dream. It's like a dream. So like that, which is imagined in a dream, such opulence will ultimately be destroyed. He knows that. He is such a kind of devotee. Such a kind of, very powerful devotee. See, it is said, Sukacharya says how Ambarishan lived a life here. This Maharaja Ambarishan, he always engaged his mind in meditating upon the, lotus feet of Sri Krishna, Mahavishnu. His words, whatever he talks, his words, he always describes the glories of the Lord. He uses all his sense organs. He uses all his parts of the body only in the service of the Lord. His words, whatever he speaks the glories of Lord. And his hands, he always uses his hands in, cleaning the Lord's, God's temple. And his ears in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna. Nama Sankirtanam, or this, like this, Kathāśravaṇam. He always keeps in mind, in the mind is always filled up with the thoughts of the Charana Kamalam of the Bhagavan. So if one keeps his mind continuously, in the lotus feet, he will certainly get the darshan of Bhagavan. That is the case, that is why this Narada, you can see that Narada did the same way and got the darshan of Bhagavan. Darsana. So this Ambarisha Maharaja, he enjoyed his, it is said that, he enjoys his smell, his sense of smell in smelling the, fragrance of tulasi leaves offered to the Lord. And he enjoyed his tongue, the mouth, his tongue in tasting the Lord's prasadam. He enjoyed his, body, the whole body in hugging the devotees, He enjoyed his legs in visiting holy places and temples. And, he enjoyed everything, all his, his head. If you further, you can see that his heads in bowing down before the Lord, and all the desires in serving the Lord. The 24 hours, all the 24 hours a day, he always enjoys Bhagavan in everything, whatever it is, he enjoys Bhagavan. He enjoys doing Bhagavan service. He enjoys seeing Bhagavan. He enjoys smelling Bhagavan's thing. So everything, whatever he does, he enjoys there the Lord. He enjoys Lord Krishna. So he's always happy. He enjoys that. So indeed, Maharaja Ambarishan never desired anything for his own, sense gratification. He enjoyed all his senses in the devotional service and various engagements, related to the Lord. So this is the way to increase, attachment to the Lord and be, completely free from all these material desires. That's why we are all, reading all this Charitram. We should know all the Charitram. At least our 5% or 10% will be, we will at least initiate ourselves, in doing things. We'll at least one step ahead we will keep. At least in this Janma. That's why we are reading all the Charitram. How these devotees are there. We have to enjoy that. We have to enjoy the devotee's life, devotee's Charitram. So this is how Maharaja Ambarishan, lives, giving up all the material desires. What happened if he is leaving all the material, desires to getting all this material opulences and everything? So Bhagavan thought, see, he gave up all the desires and has completely surrendered to me. And now it's my duty to protect him. Not only him, but also his country, but also the land, his country. It becomes his duty. That is the Bhagavan's duty for protecting us. If we surrender everything to the Lord, then Bhagavan will take care. This is how we have to live a life. So, being very, pleased by the devotion of Maharaja Ambarishan, what happened? The Lord gave the king his chakram, his, what do you call the disc? Chakram, Sudarshana Chakram, which is the, fearful, which is very, very fearful to enemies, and which always protects the devotees from enemies. And, whatever adversities, the Sudarshana Chakram is such that it's a Bhagavan's chakra, Bhagavan's disc. You can see in any temple, in Vaishnava temple, you can see Sudarshana Chakram. There is a separate Sannadi for Sudarshana Chakram. Chakra Talvar, they say Chakra Talvar. One day what happened is, that's how the Maharaja, what happened is, even though he got the chakram from the Lord himself, Maharaja Ambarisha, he kept in the puja place as one of the devotee, and he was, offering prayers to this Sudarshana Chakram also, and he was keeping it in the puja room. One day what happened? Maharaja Ambarishan's, queen, she said, we can observe some vratam together. Maharaja was also pleased because, after marriage, it is said that a lady cannot take the vratam. That is, she has to take the permission of the husband. If the husband cannot do the vratam along with his wife, then he can give permission to, do vratam alone. Or otherwise, they both can do the vratam. Here the queen asked Ambarishan Maharaja that I want to, do vratam. We will do some kind of vratam together in order to please the Lord. So it will be very good. Maharaja Ambarishan was also very pleased, and both observed the vow of, Ekadashi and Dwadasi vratam for 1 year. It is said, all these kinds of vratam removes our papam. Actually, we don't know what kind of anugraham, a karma, is getting from Bhagavan. No, each kind of karma, an anugraham is there. We can't understand, through our stula drishti. See, that is why we have to continuously, do any kind of satkarma, or keep a vratam, etc. See, we have to keep like that. We have to keep a vratam or a Shashti vratam, Somavara vratam. So many vratams are there. So many kind of, like Ekadashi vratam. So many vratams are there. So we have to continuously do some kind of satkarma. See, the Bhagwan or the Swami is not there to solve our headache. Whenever you get a headache, then Swami will not come down and put Amritanjali on that day. So in order to satisfy him, the Lord, so we have to do the satkarma, so that our kind of, suffering will reduce. So they both kept the vratam, Ekadashi vratam. Ekadashi vratam means, one has to keep fasting the previous night of Ekadashi. That is the Dasami night. And the whole Ekadashi day, also they fast. And then the next day, or that is on Dwadasi. Dasami, Ekadashi, Dwadasi. Dasami night, you have to keep the fasting on the Dasami night. Ekadashi, full fasting. And on the next day, that is on Dwadasi, they call some, sadhukal and do paranai. Paranai means take food. But Dwadasi Vardam is same as the Ekadashi Vardam, but except for the Paranai, Paranai is giving food to Sadhukal and taking the food also. You have to do within that limited time, within the time of Dwadasi. You should do Paranai during the period of Dwadasi itself. So sometimes the period of Dwadasi will be so, will be so little. That is, within the time frame, you have to do the Paranai. Paranai means taking the food, and you have to, first of all, give the food to the Sadhukal and then take the food also within that limited time. We have to do that Paranai. That is a Dwadasi Vardam. That is a little bit tougher than, Ekadasi Vardam. So it's quite difficult. But it is said that we get lots and lots of punyam. Because each and every day we are doing so many karmas. We don't know whether we are doing good thing or bad thing. We don't know. So, if we do all these things, one whole, our whole papams, whole sins will be erased by, this, the whole papam, the Chitraguptan, it is said that Chitraguptan writes all the papam, whatever papam or punyam, it is said that Chitraguptan is writing, and this Chitraguptan will erase all the papams. If you do all this, if you keep all this fasting, Ekadashi, Dwadasi fasting, like that, it's a punyam. So that is said to be the punyam of Dwadasi. And it is said that, some calculations, they give like, 1,000 Surya Grahana Punyam, 1,000 Surya Grahana Punyam, or 16,000 Mahalaya Punyam, or even 10 lakhs Amavasya Punyam is equal to 1/16 of Dwadasi Punyam. So many calculations in mathematics, so many things they give. They give some, people, they give in Shastrams, it is written like that. So this Maharaja Ambarisha did everything with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. That is the one thing, because already he is doing all the karma with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. That is, he is using all his sense organs, all his parts of the body. He has submitted himself, the whole thing he has submitted. He has surrendered himself to the Lord. So with Ishvara Arpana Buddhi, he is doing all this vratam. So to please Lord Krishna or Vishnu. So he did this vratam for 1 year. That is for 25th Ekadashi, 25th 25th Ekadashi, Dwadasi vratam, the month of Kartikai. After observing the vows, for 1 year, after observing a fast for the nights, and after bath, after taking bath in the Yamuna river, Maharaja Ambarisha worshipped the Lord in Madhuvan. This 25th vratam, he is doing it in Madhuvan. So following all the following all the principles, he did Abhishekam to the Lord. He did all the paraphernalia, all the paraphernalia. He did that Dhubam, Deepam, Aradhane, Nevedyam and everything. All the paraphernalias he did. And then he dressed the deity in a beautiful form with fine clothing and ornaments and, and with flower garlands and everything. He decorated the deities. He worshipped Lord Krishna and all the Brahmanas there in the Madhuvanam. And he gave respects to all the Brahmanas and sages present there, because he is a Maharaja. Maharaja Ambarisha is a very big Maharaja. So present there, so he gave all the charity. He gave in charity, it is said that 60 crores of cows he gave on charity. He fed all the Brahmanas there. And he was about to observe the end of Ekadashi with the permission of the, with the permission by breaking the fast, He has to end, because that day, the Dwadasi time was very little. And he has to break the fast within that time frame. So exactly at that time, however, the sage Durvasa, there is a great sage, Durvasa Maharishi, the great and powerful sage, he appeared on the scene as an, as an uninvited guest. He appeared on the scene. He has also observed Ekadashi, Dwadasi and everything, but he has to break the fast. The time frame is only this much, and he has to do all the things. So, but instead, he can break the fast, and then he could have, seen the sage and, welcomed him and everything. But what happened is, but instead he stood up here, Maharaja Ambarisha, he stood up, received the sage Durvasa, and he offered him a seat and all the other paraphernalias like respect. He gave all the respect and he prostrated before the sage and he worshipped him. And this is not the time for all these things, but he is doing. The sage should also understand. But sitting, at his feet, King Ambarisha, that is Maharaja Ambarishan, sitting at his feet, the king requested the great, sage to eat. So, but Durvasa, he has no other place to get, Dwadasi Parane. He can't go anywhere to get the Dwadasi Parane. So he has to, do the Dwadasi Parane here only, in Ambarishan's place only. So he gladly said, accepted the request of Maharaja and said, I have to finish my Anushtanams. How can I eat now? I have to do all the Anushtanams. I have to do Sandhi, Samhita, something, everything, all that thing before I have, before I take food. So he went to the river Yamuna to do all his Anushtanams. And he dropped he dipped into the water of the, auspicious Yamuna river and started meditating. See, time is running out here. Dwadasi will not wait. The time frame is very limited. So time is running out. Maharaja could not rush him also. He can't say that, oh, Durvasa Muni, come on, do it so far, do it fast. This Dwadasi is going out. He can't say like that. So Maharaja could not rush him also. So in the meantime, only a muhurtam of Dwadasi was left, on which this, to break the fast, only a limited time frame is left. So consequently, what happened? It was imperative that the fast be broken immediately. So in this dangerous situation, the king consulted all the learned brahmanas and sages present there, and there he said, if one does not observe the breaking of the fast within the time of Dwadasi, there is a flaw in one's, there is a flaw. There is a flaw in one's observance of an year, of the whole year. Therefore, he says, the brahmanas, if you, think that it will be auspicious and not, not irreligious, I shall break the fast, by drinking this saligram water. Drinking saligramam water may be accepted as eating and, does not eating. And, eating as well as not eating. So the Brahmanas never said anything because they are all scared of Durvasa Munivar. Durvasa Munivar is an angry person. So they can't come to a conclusion because it's Durvasa's matter and we don't want to, we don't want to say anything. King Ambarishan, Maharaja Ambarishan, he drank a little bit of saligram water and, and wanted wanted Durvasa come back, and when sage Durvasa, he came back, but he drank a little bit of saligram water to break the fast. But when sage Durvasa came back, he welcomed him, he offered all respects. But, this Durvasa Munivar, the sage Durvasa, by his mystic power, he has got a lot of power. He is a powerful sage, isn't it? So he could understand that King Ambarishan had, had drunk water without his permission. So Durvasa was hungry. His body was trembling. Already he has kept in a vrata. So he was hungry. His body was trembling. His face, he curved his eyebrows and, in a crooked, in a frown, angrily, manner, he spoke to Ambarishan, Maharaja Ambarishan. See, alas, see the cruel behavior of this man. He is not at all a Vishnu Bhaktan. He is not at all a Vishnu devotee. Simply he acts as if he is a Vishnu devotee. He acts and he puts all the Tulasi Malai and everything. But, he is very proud. He acts in the way, he is very proud of his material, all the wealth and opulence. And he just acts as if he is, as if he is God by keeping the Tulasi in his ears. He is not such a person. He just acts. See, you have invited me to eat as a guest. But instead of feeding me first, you yourself have eaten, first. Because of your misbehavior, I'm going to punish you. His face became red with anger, He uprooted a bunch of hair from his head and he, created a demon, a Rakshasa, resembling the blazing blazing fire of devastation to punish Ambarisha Maharaja. It was a blazing creature. It was a blazing creature, and he came before Ambarisha Maharaja. But the king, this Ambarisha Maharaja, upon seeing him, was not at all disturbed. He was not at all disturbed, and he did not move even slightly from his position. So the demon, that is this blazing fire demon, carrying a trident, it is carrying a sulam in his hand. This the demon in his hand, it came rushing before him. And even though Maharaja Ambarisha never moved, what happened? Maharaja Ambarisha thought that, if I have done something wrong, this blazing fire demon can take me, can swallow me. That's all right. If something wrong has been done by me, okay, it's all right. But what happened? The Sudarshana Chakra, that is given by God, is inside the puja room. It can't tolerate that. So the Sudarshana Chakra given by Lord Vishnu immediately burned to ashes this created demon to protect the Lord's devotee. So it won't it was not calming down. The Sudarshana Chakra was not coming down here. So upon seeing that his own attempt had failed, and that the Sudarshana Chakra was moving towards him, it turned towards Durvasa Munivar. Now the Durvasa Munivar became very frightened, and began to run to all directions, to save his life, because it's a Lord sent Sudarshana Chakra. So that as a blazing flames of fire, what happened, a snake, it's like a snake, the Sudarshana Chakra began, following Durvasa Munivar. Like it's swirling like that. He saw the Chakra was, almost touching the back of Durvasa Munivar. And he ran very swiftly, desiring to enter a cave. There he entered a cave, but, that's called Sumeru Mountain, the mountain cave. The cave is inside the Sumeru Mountain. He entered the cave, but the disc, but this Chakram came inside the cave also. So to protect himself, Durvasa was running, fled everywhere, in all the directions, in the sky, in the surface of the earth, in the caves, in the oceans. So in different planets he was running. But wherever he went, he immediately saw the Chakram following him. So he went to Brahmalokam. He saw Brahma. He asked Brahma to protect him. But Brahma said, it's not with me. I don't have the power to protect you. It is kind of, Sudarshana Chakram is chasing you, and I can't protect you. So he went to Kailasam. There also, he prostrated before Parameshwaran. But Parameshwaran told that it's not with me. It's all Sudarshana Chakram is with, Lord Vishnu's Chakram, and I can't do anything. Go to Vaikundam. Then he went to Vaikundam. There in the Vaikundam, the Chakram, the Sudarshana Chakram, it never came inside the Vaikundam, but it was standing outside and waiting for Durvasa to come out. He went inside, the Durvasa went inside with all the breathing like that, and he fell into the lotus feet of the Bhagavan there, Vishnu, and begged. See, I am a great offender. My Lord, please give me protection, please. Lord Vishnu said here, though this Sudarshana Chakram is mine, I am a Bhakta Paradhinan. I am completely under the control of my devotees. And the devotees who have no, and that too the devotees who have no material desires, they have purchased me. And I sit only within the, course of their heart. Since pure devotees, give up their home, their wife, the children, relatives, riches, and even, their lives simply to serve me without any desire for their material improvement in their life or in the next. How can I give up such devotee at any time? So I am a bhakta paradhina. I can do anything for devotee, for the devotees of for my devotees. This is like, Sukacharya says, this is like as chaste women, bring their gentle husbands under control by service, the pure devotees who are equal to, who are equal to everyone and completely attached to me in the core of the heart, bring me under their full control. So I can't inquire about this case. See, I can give you advice. So what am I to do then? The Sudarshana Chakram is chasing me. What am I to do then? Now Vishnu says, let me give you an advice. See, Maharaja, you have to Maharaja Ambarishan, you have acted with self-envy, first of all. So therefore you should go to him immediately without a moment delay. Without a moment delay, you have to go to him immediately and you should fall on his feet. That is Maharaja Ambarishan's feet. You have to take Charanagati. You have to take Charanagati to Maharaja Ambarishan. So go there, fell into the feet of Maharaja Ambarishan and take Charanagati there. But Durvasa said, I will definitely do. I will definitely, because I have been running, here and there. I have been running through all the planets. I have been running. But what? But I have to make it till I reach Ambarishan. This chakram is waiting outside. What will happen if I go outside? This chakram will not, will not wait. So how am I to go? So here Mahavishnu said, make a sankalpam here. Make a sankalpam of doing Charanagati to Ambarishan here itself and go. That is the thing. This sankalpam is very important. Doing comes after sankalpam. So make a sankalpam here. So then this chakram will not harm you. Thus, sage Durvasa, taking the Lord's order, went to Maharaja Ambarishan and fell at his lotus feet. Maharaja Ambarishan, being naturally very, very humble person, he is naturally a humble person. He was very meek and he felt shy and ashamed, because Durvasa Munivar, he is a great sage and who is a very great sage, had fallen at his feet. And thus he began to offer prayers to the Sudarshana Chakra just to save Durvasa, sage Durvasa. What is the Sudarshana Chakram? The Sudarshana Chakram, is a glance of Lord Vishnu. It is the origin of creation and is the most dear to the Lord. Chakra Talva, that is how it is said. It has got thousands of spokes. Sudarshana Chakra is the killer of the prowess of all other weapons, the killer of darkness, and the manifester of the prowess of devotional service. So it is the means of establishing all religious principles, and it is the killer of the irreligious activities. People do Sudarshana Homam also. Sudarshana Homam. So here Maharaja started doing stotram to the Sudarshana Chakra. And at last he said, if our family has given charity to the proper persons, if we have performed the ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices, and if we have properly carried out our occupational duties, and if we have been guided by learned Brahmanas, I wish in exchange, that this Brahmana, this sage Durvasa, be freed from burning caused by the Sudarshana Chakra. if the Lord is pleased with us, we wish that this Brahmana, this Durvasa Munivar, be freed from the pain of being, burned. So the king offered prayers to Sudarshana Chakram, and the Sudarshana Chakram became, peaceful and stopped burning Durvasa Munivar. Sage Durvasa, now, he is also a great sage. This is also Leela to show the world how one should act. He became satisfied. Sage Durvasa Munivar, he became satisfied and free from, freed from the Sudarshana Chakram. Then he praised the qualities of the Ambarisha Maharajan and offered him the highest benedictions. I have experienced, the greatness of the devotees. You have saved my life. So expecting see here what happened, expecting the return of sage Durvasa, this king had not taken his food. Yeah. The sage was surprised to know that 1 year has gone. He was waiting from that period onwards, the 1 year has gone. So still the king has not taken any food. The king, fell at the lotus feet of Durvasa Munivar, pleasing him in all respects, and fed him, sumptuously, because he has also not taken any food for 1 year. So he requested the king to eat also. So the king also ate. Then Durvasa, he took permission, left him, there, continuously glorifying the king. So the Durvasa Munivar had left the palace of Maharaja Ambarisha, and as long as, he had not returned for 1 complete year, the king had, fasted, maintaining himself simply by drinking this Saligrama water, Tirtham, Saligrama Tirtham. This is the Ambarisha Charitram, and this is a powerful Charitram. Anyone who chants this narration or even thinks this narration, about the activities of this Ambarisha, Maharaja Ambarisha, certainly becomes a great devotee. Certainly, he will attain the highest form. And God, he will get all the punyams of whatever Ekadashi punyam or Dwadasi Virtam punyam is there. Hearing the narration of Ambarisha Charitram itself gives all the punyam. So Sukacharya narrated this Ambarisha Charitram to Maharaja Parikshit. And Maharaja Parikshit was so pleased. So, he prostrated before Sukacharya, hearing this Ambarisha Charitram. This is a very divine and powerful Charitram. In Srimad Bhagavatam, all the stories are very, very divine, but this Charitram, gives all the punyams of the Vratam. So this is the end of the Ambarisha Charitam, and we'll continue in the next session with other Charitrams also. So I'll conclude this session with Purnamidam. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyati Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you. Thank you very much.